A regular chef would cook all your regular meals, but I specialize in allergies, in illnesses, or people who just want to be healthy.
Hello, everybody. You're welcome to Just for Women Africa, and my name is Lola Amusa, the founder of Just for Women Africa. And today we're on a Zoom interview all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. We have with us Chef Lola. You're welcome to the show, Lola.
Hello, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All right, Lola. Could you tell viewers a little bit about yourself before we get into the interview?
Okay, my name is Lola. I'm a graduate of psychology from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ife, Osun State. I am a professional chef, a health supportive chef, and I'm the first child of my also 29 years old, sorry. Hello.
All right, that's good to know. All right, Lola. So, why did you decide to be a chef instructor? What motivated you to be a chef instructor?
Okay. First of all, you rightly said, what motivated me. I didn't start off as a chef. I initially went in the direction of event planning. While I was in school, I saw that I had passion for planning events. So, and I was also passionate about people who had talent. So I organized a talent show while in university. I raised funds for the participants and gave the winners different opportunities and cash prizes. And after that event, I saw that, wow, this was very successful. And I think this is thing I'd like to do full time. So I went off to intern I did the show again after the first one, and it was very successful. I did it in a different state, and we're able to different youths from different parts of Nigeria. So that really made me feel like, okay, this is what I want to do. So I went to intern event planning company, and from there I started to grow in the career. I was there for like 4 years, and then my mom was my stepmom, actually, but I refer to her as my mom, was diagnosed with cancer. So I had to quit the job to take care of her. And while I was taking care of her, I found out that a lot of people were not able to cook for her because they didn't really know so much about healthy cooking. So I started watching YouTube videos, but it didn't quite help me. So I told myself I was going to go to culinary school to be able to help her, but she eventually passed away. And so I felt like even though I wasn't able to help her, I could help so many other people who have one illness or the other. And that's how I started as a chef. So I went to culinary school. The culinary school where I studied saw my passion and how I was teaching my classmates, and they offered me a job. So I worked as a chef instructor there for about a year. And then I went to the US to specialize in healthy cooking because that was what inspired me to go into the industry in the first place.
Okay, all right, no, that's good to hear. So how long have you been a chef for? And what has it been like? Has the environment been supportive? Has family been supportive? What has it been like being a chef?
Okay, I've been a chef for about 3 years, going to 4 years now. And yes, my parents are very supportive. Initially, they didn't quite understand what I wanted to do, but they got it after a while. They're very supportive, and I think that the most challenging thing for me is my niche. So people are chefs, but not many people are healthy chefs. So it's sort of new territory that I'm trying to build, and so I've had to do a lot of marketing, a lot of explaining to people what I'm trying to do and what the benefits of what I'm trying to do is. So I would say that has been my biggest challenge.
Okay, so what's the difference between a regular chef and a healthy chef? Uh, for our viewers to understand.
Okay, so a regular chef would cook all your regular meals, but I specialize in allergies, in illnesses, or people who just want to be healthy. I have knowledge in nutrition and how the body works and how food affects the body. So in cooking, I'm taking into consideration what your dietary needs are, what your allergies are, what your health goals are, to be able to create a dish for you. So it's not just put anything together and cook like it's the order of the day for chefs.
Do you think people should be worried about things they eat?
So I won't use the word worry. I'll just use the word pay more attention to. People need to pay attention to what they eat, because at the end of the day, what we eat is what determines how our body will feel, because all the energy and all the nutrients that our body needs, we mostly get from food. So I would say that yes, people need to be more health conscious. They need to understand what they're feeding into their bodies, and just pay more attention, basically.
Okay, that's great. Over last, was it last year? You worked with an NGO in America on obesity. Could you elaborate about that?
Right. So during my program, I had to do a work placement, and so I chose to do it in with an NGO that tries to curb childhood obesity. The idea or the mission of the NGO is to work with underprivileged areas in New York. So we had to go to like the really poor areas in New York. I was very surprised because I always imagined that New York was where everything happened. It's the case, but there is a lot of poverty in New York as well. So we had to go to neighborhoods and teach children in schools where they didn't have access to fresh fruits and vegetables because they couldn't afford it. Many of their parents earned very little, so they weren't able to afford fruits and vegetables. So the idea for the program that I was working with was to go to the different schools. We showed them the different things they can do with fruits, common fruits and vegetables. Many of them haven't even tasted these fruits and vegetables before. So it was a very humbling experience for me, seeing that these were not Africans, like the narrative that we always get that, oh, it's only in Africa that there's poverty. So I would say that it was a privilege to work with the NGO and also be able to help so many children.
Okay, that's good to know. So, what's the future for Chef Lola? Would you plan on being an instructor forever, or you plan on actually going into kitchen to cook healthy foods for people in restaurants and all?
Okay, so no, I don't plan to work in a restaurant, but I'm going to open a wellness center. And this wellness center is going to have healthy food. We're going to have different natural therapies. So it's going to be like a resort of some sort. And I will still be doing my teaching on the side.
All right. Okay. In your field, I mean, I think it's mostly male dominated, and you hardly see few women saying they're going to be chefs, especially instructors like the way you are, in specializing and all. Um, why would you say? What do you think is the reason for that?
Um, I feel like, yes, even though it's male dominated, there are a lot of women that are going into the industry now, but most importantly, being a chef is a very demanding job. People just assume that it's not just cooking, but you have to stand on your feet for hours. You are constantly cooking. It's different from the kind of food you'd cook in the house because you are time bound. People are waiting on you, especially if you're working in a restaurant. So it might be a bit demanding, and maybe that's why women not as much women are not in the industry. But I would, in right now in Nigeria, even in the culinary school where I teach, there are always more females in the class than males. So it's changing now. More women are going into the industry.
Okay, that's good to know. So, what advice will you give to women out there in Nigeria and all over Africa who want to be a chef instructor like you, who look up to you, and but they're not able to? They're not able to because of the stereotype in the system and all.
So I would say that the advice I would give everybody who is trying to be a chef or a chef instructor is, despite or in spite of what anybody is going to say, you should still do it. Do it in spite of being afraid. Do it despite whatever anybody would say. It doesn't really matter. What matters is you feeling fulfilled and you making a mark. So that would be my advice.
All right. Okay, so we're about to bring the interview to a close. What's the future for Chef Lola?
Expect so many more healthy recipes from me. What I'm working on now is to try to create Nigerian, African, indigenous ingredients in very, very, very interesting ways that people haven't thought of before. So there will be a lot of recipe development, and eventually would have a cookbook where people can try these things out.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for coming on the show, Lola.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. But before we sign out, what's your last word of encouraging people who are watching?
Okay, so my last words would be, no matter what you want to do in life, once you put your heart to it, God behind you, you would achieve it. A living testimony. People always say that they don't have funds to do things, but somehow all the funds I needed to get to where I am was provided gradually for me, even though I didn't have it. But I had the passion, I had the interest, and I kept at it. So consistency, prayers, and never giving up basically would be my last words.
Okay, Lola, thanks a lot for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. We wish you all the best, and we look forward to interviewing you in the future.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Bye.